on
I'll see you
Castaway.
there.
All right.
Castaway?
See
Okay,
you in a bit.
bye.
All right. Bye.
Tight shit. We have arrived. We have arrived.
Hey, how you doing, Tyke?
Man, I'm doing good. Doing
All
good.
right.
About to be better when we air out the whole of Blaine.
Going on, gentlemen? This is representatives down from the south side. They had a couple questions. I figured I'd call them down. So, yeah, kind of. I actually just got off the phone with one of my insiders within the police department, and it further confirmation that Blaine County Officer Nakota was collecting votes to counter some of the legislation alongside Ursula and Andi, and their reasons were we need to stop quote-unquote criminals from having control over businesses and airlines. So
Okay.
so
They want to stop criminals having control over businesses, but they're going against legislation that allows any businesses to do that.
yeah. So whether it's like the barber shop
correct me if
down
I'm
on the
wrong.
south side, you are 100% correct.
The police
It's,
officer is doing it.
Yeah.
What the police doing, trying to make legislation? It's not their job. Stay in your lane.
Well, that's exactly what Under Sheriff Cassidy told me. He told me that all I'm doing is writing legislation for criminals. When I said these are civilians in my voter base, he's like, no, PD should be writing it with the mayor, and people are too stupid to know what's good for them. So
Wait. One of the
Under
assistant
Sheriff
chief,
Cassidy,
the undersheriff,
yes,
is trying to make it so that the police write the laws.
Correct.
Rather, that is so asinine. It's not. Even
I got into a huge argument about it with him. Peters was there. He heard the entire conversation, and I was so floored with what he said. But I'm also not surprised. All you have to do is take a look at all the legislation that's coming out of Blaine. Right? It's all PD centric. So part of the concerns that what the arguments were, Air One needs to be fully controlled by the police department. They said the material reserve that is meant for moving materials to mechanic shops and making sure we got repairs available to them so it doesn't get eaten up by all the other things is just a way for criminals to get their butt coin. It's literally just the best way I can describe it, it's fear mongering to allow for what it would become a virtual police state. And the fact that it is Blaine County, both the mayor, the sheriff's office up there that is heading this is just a bad look. This isn't even their county.
Yeah, so they've got no business down. Like what the? And this, if they talking about criminals are gonna use the materials for their butt coin, just to put this out there, I got approached to let my peoples know to sell the materials to the state for the repair shops, and I was like, fuck yeah, because we struggle to get repairs, and we need them for GPUs, so it actually makes it harder for us to get GPUs because we will actually be selling to you guys for the mechanics.
Yeah.
That's completely opposite of what's happening. It's like it makes it slower for us to get shit because it makes it so worth it to sell the materials that we need for the Bitcoin.
The unfortunate thing is they've got quite the voice because it is an entire department that is spewing hatred, spewing lies. They hacked into my laptop and have been claiming that we're charging them $3,000 every time they go through a toll booth. None of this stuff is true. None of them have approached me with their concerns, and they are leaning on busted legislation that was tailored to allow them to do this. We, my administration now, after all that hard work we did over the weekend, now have to keep we have to keep an eye on when randomly there might be a vote on something we put together. Like it's going to be very taxing, and at the end of the day, we want to make sure that everyone, is able to live their dream, and I think they want to take it away. It's really that simple.
Take what away? Nobody has a business.
No one has
they're
businesses.
Trying to stop people having dreams, not living their dreams. They want to stop people being able to even have dreams at this point.
Yeah, it's
like some martial law type shit, man.
It is. It is.
Well, that's exactly what it is. The police are just supposed to uphold the law and enforce the law, not make it. Because
You want to
then
write
it'll
it,
be completely
enforce it.
skewed.
I don't even see how that's even possible. It's major conflict of interest too, either way. So
Yeah. Well,
Motherfuckers
unfortunately, they
overstepping
got
the
a judge
boundary.
on this side. I mean, I want you to keep in mind, the law was changed when Ursula asked, hey, I want to repeal these 6, but I can't afford the 100,000 per, which was placed
Womp
there
womp.
to prevent people from trolling this shit. And instead, it was done, and now it's just it's shitloading. It literally is. So,
What? So I can go and repeal every Blaine County thing now?
correct.
Yep.
All right, cool. Let's do that then.
Yeah, you just gotta get 25 signatures.
20. I've got 28 people in my business.
Yeah.
That sounds like it might be really easy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That would be very easy.
Right now, all the votes that are up until the end of today, we need everyone voting yes, because they stood inside the food stalls freaking everyone out that we're going to tax the shit out of them, when the reality is that it's a 10% tax across every business in the city that will be used to help businesses that cannot make money through the state to get funded. So whether it's like a barber shop on the south side, right? There's no way for them to get tickets or whatever, right? If they're active, we want to subsidize it, make those kind of dreams come true. If there's like concerts and shit, artists get paid. You know, it's the city helping each other thrive. But it's the fear mongering they did has mobilized a lot of people based on lies. And the reality is people aren't going to read the legislation. They're going to believe whatever's told to them. And
Right. And you say they hacked your laptop to get this bullshit that they all pissed off about.
that's the only thing they presented to me why they have a problem with us, was a hacked laptop document. That's it.
But that's illegal.
It is. And we are going to be taking legal action in regards to that.
All right. Have they learned nothing from when allegedly I may have been involved in about 40 different people storming LSPD and killing them all and executing motherfuckers?
Well, I don't think so, because most of them left Los Santos to go to Blaine, and subsequently they're even bullying the LSPD with their now newfound numbers and saying, well, you need us down here. So we can
Right.
come down. Now, I want you to even keep in mind, take a look at the Blaine legislations. They're bringing interceptors. They're bringing all this, like, PD shit in. I mean, but where's the people's thing? I spoke to Blaine residents last night after, at the AU tsunami. And they're getting dono-walled up there. The Blaine County's not patrolling up there. They're not helping the people up there. They're more focused on trying to make my life and the people of Los Santos' life miserable, so that their little fucking dusty little county seems like it's moving forward. But like I said, this is purely directed from a place of hatred, and I can't really find any other reasonable explanation. So
Now I may be a criminal scumbag, but I'm not no fucking feral fuck. I'm not out here to deal with motherfuckers that are out here. You know, if they got intolerance in them, I'm about to beat the shit out of them. If they got, now I'm gonna just level with you. The LSPD is a lot harder to storm than the Blaine County PD. That shit is
well,
tiny.
we
I
would
think
never
got
want
that, to be honest.
something like that.
No,
you
of
know.
course not. We would never want anything like that
Yeah.
to happen ever.
I
But
think,
it would
like,
be real easy. But it would, we
No
would
way.
never want that. No shot. That would be horrible.
you
When
know-
would we ever do that?
For me, it's, protesting, getting into Twitter, letting folks know that, what's happening, the realities of what's happening, getting people mobilized to vote for our legislation. And we're going to try to find a way to make sure that our populace is very well aware of what legislation is happening, and our doors are always open. This team and those that are missing right now, because our main job and our main focus is make sure, regardless of who you are, if you live in Los Santos County, we want to try to help your dreams come true.
I got a question for you, Nino. Doesn't it seem like the PD is getting a little too, for lack of a better term, big for their britches, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't a civilian oversight committee over PD have something?
The
You know,
problem
like,
is that the a current mouthpiece or singular decision maker is effectively repealing everything that gives any sort of civilian pushback on PD. So I'll give you an example. People are doing crimes in Los Santos and getting arrested in Los Santos. And Blaine offices, I've heard them myself. I've heard the stories. I've had people call me and say they're literally talking about making money off the arrests and bringing up north, right?
They did that to me.
They did that. What happened in your case?
Okay, so my case is, allegedly I shot 2 cops. It was dark as shit. The lady, the BCSO officer or whatever, didn't even really know her Miranda rights. Like, none of it at all. She had to keep going over it and still miss some shit. And then she took me up north and charged me there.
Yeah, I've had people call me and say, "Oh my God, this guy's worth 15,000," right? Like, it's so the verbiage, the lingo being used, it's treating civilians like
We're just the money grab.
Yes, and what that does,
This guy is worth 15,000 is fucking insane.
Yeah.
That is not a police officer. That's a
What are they,
bounty
fucking
hunter.
bounty hunters?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Nick,
Yes.
thank you for the 3 months. And the worst thing about it is the way and the reason I put Daisy in place is she strongly believes in like people's rights, people, officers being held accountable, there being common decency. But the problem is that any piece of legislation that is allowing LSPD to be the voice of Los Santos County and how policing is, it's getting kicked back. So pretty much they get to do what they want. Now you put a mayor like Andi, who's just writing legislation for the PD, they get, like, effectively, they get their buffs. And what do we do against it? Nothing. Literally nothing. I, even myself, and you'll hear about this soon, there is an individual named Officer Ventura. He conducted a traffic stop on an individual named Marlo Stanfield, read the plate, heard his voice, called him Marlo, and Marlo had a mask on. Now, the officer had the right to remove the mask, right? Because he has to identify him in case something happens. Marlo decided not to. Ventura gave him a lawful order to step out of the vehicle. Ventura was well within his right. He then detained Marlo and did not remove the mask. Instead, transported him all the way to Mission Row PD and then fingerprinted him, which inherently means that the reason for him taking off the mask was never necessary. You understand what I'm saying? If the identification was the lawful reasoning, then the mask needed to be taken off there before the transport. And when this was brought up, he just said, take it to court. I did nothing wrong. Da, 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 da. Same individual, right, started harassing me over that incident. Multiple phone calls saying sly shit. It then expanded to he was note-taking for one of the offices, and I said, I don't want to work with this guy. He does strange, unbecoming things. And as a side effect of that, he actually tracked down me and Tilly just a couple days ago to give us a traffic stop in which we did nothing illegal. And apparently that report that I'm waiting for is laden with him targeting me. You know?
Wow, that's wild.
Statements that will include
yeah.
things like, what are you going to do? We're from Blaine. You have no control over us, kind of shit. It was a very strange encounter. So
That's fire. That's fire. We're from Blaine. What are you going to do about us? While
Yeah.
Blaine try and affect Los Santos County laws. That's fantastic.
yeah.
What are you going to do, Nino? What could you possibly do?
What I am realizing is that there needs to be a more collective voice of Los Santos that people are aware
A
of the
voice, yes.
legislation and what we are trying to do. Keep an open, a very like we keep an open door policy, but we have to work around how to get the information out there. Like we got lossantos.me, right? But I don't think a lot of people go to it. We hold city halls, but they're hard to, you know, people don't want to attend them, right? People got shit going on. But the problem is that there's such a loud, just dissenting voice that just wants to shut things down that we have to outvote them and be the bigger voice and shut that voice down. Like letting people know that these individuals want a police state and they are not for the people. And so that they hear it loud and fucking clear. And if they want that kind of behavior, stay locked up in the sheriff's office. This is our fucking city. This is the city of the people. And the people is every fucking individual that has the ability to wake up in the apartments.
So I have a question when it comes to jurisdiction. BCSO, let's say a crime starts out up in Blaine County, right? And they are being, you know, let's say that there's a chase involved and they end up down here. Jurisdictionally speaking, I'm assuming since the crime originally happened up in Blaine County would take that person up to Blaine County and process them. But that's not happening. I'm assuming that let's say there's a cash exchange that's done here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have a BCSO officer that shows up. The original crime that happens is in Los Santos County.
So that's how the way I thought it was as well. And I've never gotten a real explanation other than I don't know. My guess is that Blaine County, because they siphoned a lot of the officers over there, as Blaine County Sheriff's Office has become a place where you go if you don't want any accountability in Los Santos, right? And because they got so many numbers and the amount of like nasty shit they said about Daisy, they created an environment that was not healthy for the city. You get what I'm saying? Like if you bleed all the talent in and say like all the free cookies over here, now you got LSPD that is fractured, right? Now you can claim that, well, we want people to go be happy and where they are and all this fucking bullshit, but it's asinine, right? When it comes from like a logistic law enforcement perspective. And so now with those numbers, they are bullying and pressing expectations. They're going around talking about UPD, which doesn't exist. They're passing laws up there and knowing full well that they can try to use it down here. So, and now with effectively a justice that is sympathizing and changing laws like midway through legislation and backing them on everything, there isn't, the voice of the people went down dramatically. So even something like an oversight committee becomes nearly impossible because the system is, we propose it. One justice says, no, you know what? That's not, has anything to do with you because it's PD. And then maybe you get it through, but now Blaine County can just get random 25 votes, right? Convince a bunch of people a bunch of bullshit. But even if you get through that phase, they can still go and contest it. So pretty much they put up so many hurdles that I genuinely do not know how a mayor can be successful in Los Santos, because if I'm having issues, right, so will everyone else. And Andi, the only reason Andi hasn't had issues is because I've been playing these snaky games. I let them do whatever the fuck. That's their county. But now they made their problem my problem, you know? And I expect everyone's going to fucking vote against their shit. And what the fuck's she going to do? But she's going to be around as much as I am to watch the polls? Fuck no. Most people don't have that energy. We have fucking lives outside of the city.
You guys have sorry.
Okay, I'm lying a little bit, I want to be honest. I'm here like... But yeah. We could really use KTB, your friends, your family, civs, whatever, going down, voting yes on everything, and getting the voice out there as to what is actually taking place. It's a nasty game of politics, jealousy, and what I feel like is what they believe is a solution to their own depression.
So there's a lot of LSPD, former LSPD officers that have moved up to BCSO.
Correct.
How are they how are they paying for all of their salaries?
Because all the money they're generating is going into PD salaries. They're not I talked to so many Blaine residents, like big groups of Blaine residents. Their calls are getting donor-walled.
That's great. You know, when communication breaks down, that makes everything run real smoothly from what I've experienced.
Mm.
Yeah, that makes it real smooth.
So, I'm sorry, unless I have it wrong. Doesn't the legislation say that if BCSO is in Los Santos, then they have to kind of adhere to LSPD and vice versa?
Correct. But
Right, so
LSPD has been strangleholded to a point where they're being forced to comply by letting that they have to work together, right? Because then there's going to be barely any cops or people to train or whatever. So they're playing a numbers game. They're pretty much holding officers hostage to do whatever they want down here. That's how I view it.
And didn't Max try that the last mayor?
Wait, sorry, what did you say, Ava?
No, I was saying, is there a way to prevent them, like what Garen was saying? If they bring something here and the rest has to be made, if they have to take that person back to Blaine County for processing, then they don't get paid here, right? If you take away their reason for wanting to come here or needing to come here.
Shit, what happened to her?
Oh shit.
Oh, that's unfortunate there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Abby?
Yeah, that's
They
a
got
thing.
snipers. It was Blaine County.
Abby,
Oh, shit.
Oh my! I think she needs food.
They're coming for us.
Could you call
Abby. Right, honey, got you.
Oh, I think she might be in her head.
How could the Blaine Tards do this?
Yeah, it's gonna be an upward battle, but like I said, we're dealing with, like, you know, Blaine rot and just you know, a justice that fully sympathizes. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, it's not surprising. It's like a ex-cop, right? They're gonna have a particular lens on how things should be, and anything that's non-cop related, it just doesn't compute.
Yeah, but the whole problem with that is that if you have a cop or a former cop that is
Called for help, Abby.
making legislation or anything like that, they're going to be so skewed
Are you just hungry?
because they have an opinion. You know, that's
Yeah.
the problem that we had, 6 years ago.
I have food.
Agreed.
6 years ago, if you were walking down the street, you were a criminal. You know what I mean? That's the way that everybody viewed it. I never once broke a law until I couldn't stand it anymore.
But this is the thing, right? And this is where it's like it's tough because
Can you do me
there
a
ain't
favor?
many. I'll
Can
be
you take
real.
Abby to the
From
hospital? There's no
what
EMS
I've
on
seen, there
duty.
really is
It says
not
self-transport.
many people left that
Thank
ain't
you.
committed a crime. And I think a big part
Oh,
of that
no,
is the
Wyatt.
fact that they're literally, if you're clean, like I had some people that I know, they're like completely clean of any crime, right?
Mm.
And I said to them, I'm like, yo, I'll be real with you.
Thank you,
That's
honey.
great.
Just throw me
That's
in the
so
ocean.
good for you. But holy fuck, I'm so sorry to hear that as well.
Wait,
because
Are you
what
calling
you have-
EMS? Okay.
No
All right.
EMS available.
I called them. They
I'll
said
take her
there's
and
no
I'll bring her
EMS
back.
on duty self-transport.
Oh shit! All right.
No EMS.
Yeah.
It's
So
literally
you were
one of the
saying?
only things you can do. Yeah, I would say literally one of the only. That's actually funny. One of the only jobs you can do if you're not a criminal is probably be a doctor right now. The rest of it is like, what you gonna go do? Sit on a fucking crime truck? I would want to shoot my brains out, to be honest. Same with G6. The fuck am I doing G6 for? Like, what else is
Yeah.
there to do? Oh my
spent 5
God,
months looking at
lumber.
lawyer.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Well,
Have you
that's the
anybody
thing.
here ever tried to do lumber?
This Wyatt right here
So
is
Wyatt
running.
running the lumber
Wyatt,
company.
Wyatt, I am so sorry to hear. I would probably rather be set on fire than do
Not that
lumber.
bad.
You know,
No,
what's
it
crazy
is
with
bad.
Is so if you do lumber for me, it's not bad. because I pay $20 a plank, so it makes it worth it. But
Right.
that is the most soul crushing job that you could ever do.
Yeah.
And how I've been able to manage it this long, I have no idea. But it's like, it's another one of those things. I think it's just who I am. Somebody's got to do it. And I don't want
I'm
to.
so sorry to hear that you have so many mental issues, Wyatt. That shit sucks. My boys did it for like 3 hours straight, and the dude liked him 0.7 more than when they started. In 3 hours.
Yeah.
Been doing it for 8 months. It's so bad.
How much does he like you? 10? Oh my God.
My
Yeah, I'm
husband
so
does
sorry
it
to
to
hear. I
help
see why you're wearing the
people out,
helmet.
and it is so destroying to do it, but it's necessary.
I
Yeah,
need a
it's,
safety helmet so to stop me fucking bashing my skull into a wall. Fuck that.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, with everything that's going on, these guys, these guys, I mean, at the end of the day, look, they want the PD to have control of the city, and quite frankly, I don't think this is what the people of Los Santos were expecting, and unfortunately, it's currently in very poor hands. So the best we can do is mobilize, let the voices be heard, let people know what is occurring, and then change will happen. We are working on things on our side to try to, make these things rather clear. But, we're dealing with us sitting in an office for days on end, trying to solve problems, do work, while these guys sit in a fucking circle jerking each other off about the thought of Los Santos crumbling. And I've yet to hear a fact that proves otherwise. I'm going to be quite frank.
Well, I mean, hey, listen, as we discussed previously, man, send me the tiger and I'll walk up there with the tiger by my side.
All right, now the tiger is going to be all those fucking hitting yes on all the ballots by end of day. As many people as we can. Getting out on Twitter.
So any ballot that's up now, yes, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Or are there any Blaine things up for vote?
Not yet, but there will be, and I'm going to try to find a good way to communicate all that.
All right,
Isn't there 3?
The Blaine ones, yeah, but they're not up for vote, right? There are 3 Blaine ones that you can get signatures and make them go to vote.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the process is very... the moment Angel changed that legislation, it literally just fucked everything up for everybody. I just don't think she thought beyond the... I quite frankly, she's making decisions that are convenient for herself, not for the people. There's no thought process. It just is what it is.
Yeah, that's interesting. And just me, like I said, my organization, you got like 28 people just in that alone. So, and we ain't. That's Well, fuck. Okay. I'm gonna make sure to pass on the message. Fuck Blaine County. Fuck them all. It's pretty much civil war at this point. If they want to make it so that we can't just live our lives down here, if they want it, all they need to do is stay on this side of the border. Fuck off up there. Go jerk off in your corner, and that's fine. I don't give a fuck if you're a wanker. That's fine. You go do that. You go be a terrible person. End of the day, you come here and you start fucking with everybody's lives down here. Just like, fuck out of here, dog. I'm trying to live. You know, like how are we gonna be here and be like, oh, I want to go live a straight life. I want to be a civilian. It's been fucking 9 months. There's not like what? There's one business. It's like you got Wyatt's Lumber Company. They don't even need it. Let me real. He's just doing that because holy fuck, it's like it's tough to. You pretty much the only guy doing lumber that I know. Why? Yeah. And then you got what's it? Who was it? Brokers by the Ocean. They got like a restaurant or some shit. Outside of that, the fuck going on? What?
No, they're a slime shack now. They got.
Oh my god! No. I mean, outside of the slime. No, they're not at the thing. I saw they were at somewhere else or some shit, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I swear down, I saw an advertisement. I don't know.
Oh, that's nice
you know what?
To hear if that's true. Yeah.
You know what would be a good tweet to get out? Angel and Andi, a Max and Siobhan 2.0. I think that sends a very clear messaging.
Oh.
Siobhan
the thing that I doesn't.
They are Max and
understand.
Siobhan's prodigies 2.0. Gotcha.
is if they don't like the legislation down here, why don't they just write it to what they want up there and just
Yeah.
leave the shit that we're doing down here alone?
Or maybe
Ain't that-
Max and Crane. Oh, that's more fitting.
How does it benefit them to mess things up here? Is what I want to know.
Exactly.
I really want to know how
Because
does it benefit them. There has to
legislation's
be a
not
reason
state
why.
legislation, is it? It's county.
It's county. So what happens here matter to what happens there when they can create their own legislation to make things be the way they want? What
Exactly.
happens in Los Santos does not affect Blaine County and vice versa. So
Yeah.
why are you making something that has nothing to do with your business?
It's
Because what that does do is make me want to get into your business, and that creates an enemy where one didn't exist before. So
that
why do
is
that?
exactly the conundrum. And I want to remind you, Tuesday night, I spoke to the sheriff and the undersheriff trying to, keep things like somewhat civil, like, joke around a little bit, but keep it civil. And after all the crying, literal crying, okay, not literal crying, but they were like, and I felt bad, and then they pull this. It doesn't make any sense. It's crocodile tears, right? Or they're not the ones in control. They're just, Andy's dogs.
I put it on Gaga.
Oh shit.
On Gaga. No. Wow. I haven't heard that in so long. I love that.
All right. Well, we gotta continue with our meeting, gentlemen. If you need anything, any questions about legislation in the future, please let me know, and we're gonna get information and mobilization stuff out really soon, so everyone knows what's up next.
All right, for sure. Yeah.
All right.
You ever need
Yeah.
a presidential escort? Hop in the truck.
Yeah, Roberto, come to my car with me real quick. Okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Bye, Breezy.
All
Give me
right.
one sec, Dre. Later.
Yeah,
Ava.
yeah.
Bye.
I need to get this bitch.
All right. Yeah. So, I think
she
being
does.
rather open about these things with the public is probably the move.
Oh, give me one sec.